was shocked when the president's proclamation was read yesterday evening, and I promptly issued a statement condemning it. I'm not in support of it.
Well, one of those who has a vote at that National Assembly is Senator Seriake Dickson. He's a leading member of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, or PDP, and he governed Bayelsa State for 8 years, and before that, of course, he was the Attorney General of the state. And Senator Dickson joins me now in the studio. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Charles.
And I'm glad you brought the Constitution along with you.
Yeah.
Are you for or against this move by President Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State?
Well, as a committed Democrat, are very serious concerns. I was shocked when the president's proclamation was read yesterday evening, and I promptly issued a statement condemning it. I'm not in support of it. First of all, theoretically, by Section 305 of the Nigerian Constitution, there is provision authorizing the president in given cases and instances to declare emergency rule. If the nation is at war, if there is an overwhelming natural disaster, if there is a likelihood of a major breach of peace or disruption of the public order, such that you think that there is no other way you can preserve public order and peace than by imposing emergency rule. All those criteria are there. Section 305 is there. You can read it all. So theoretically, every president has the powers under the Constitution to declare emergency rules.
But the issue is the suspension of the elected
two issues, Charles.
Leaders.
It's even debatable, in my view, whether those conditions stipulated by the Constitution are met.
Yes.
Yes. Because the Constitution didn't just impose, powers, didn't just grant powers to the president to just declare if it appears to the president to be the right solution. No, the Constitution has prescribed conditions that must be met. And no self-respecting Democrat or politician who subscribes to supporting the will of the people, the sovereignty of the people, will accept unless those conditions are met. I don't want this crisis, and particularly this crescendo that we're in now, to be interpreted as some tribal conflict. It's essentially a political dispute between a godfather and a godson. Okay? Essentially,
and you want to limit it to that.
I think we should see it that way.
Yeah.
After all, it was the Minister of FCT who brought it. The same way I facilitated a governor when I was leaving. And most of us do that. Sometimes it doesn't go well. Other times we manage, like people like us, we don't complain, we don't talk. We take everything in our strides.
That's the way it should be.
We take it in our strides. But we're all differently made. Yes, there will be instances where you say, have I made the right decision? Okay? You may be disrespected, you may not be appreciated, there may be ingratitude, there may even be sheer wickedness and envy. You understand? And by the people you have helped.
That doesn't mean you have to ruin the state as a result.
It doesn't mean you have to collapse everything.
Yeah.
Okay? But you see, and that's why I've been quite restrained. Because I know the feelings. I know if God has used you to raise people in leadership, in this political, and you see them do certain things, it will shock you. It will shock you. Every human being, okay? But we have to learn to manage that. And I feel that we should look at it that way, and the minister should be prevailed upon to still see the governor as his son, someone God used him to bring up. An emergency rule is an anathema. We are operating a constitutional democracy, which means periodic elections, which means guaranteed liberties of our people, freedom of association, freedom of expression, and the like, and the holding of regular elections, and crucially, the subordination of political authority by the civilian leadership, elected leadership, over the people. All these elements are components of democratic rule. It's not just you are holding elections 4 years and therefore it's democracy. No.
Well,
so when you suspend the elected officials of states, that is like igniting a nuclear bomb in a constitutional democracy.
And you are a former Attorney General in your state, so you've got a very good grasp of the law and the Constitution. Is there any legal justification for that action?
Well, first of all, theoretically, by Section 305 of the Nigerian Constitution, there is provision authorizing the president in given cases and instances to declare emergency rule. If the nation is at war, if there is an overwhelming natural disaster, if there is a likelihood of a major breach of peace or disruption of the public order, such that you think that there is no other way you can preserve public order and peace than by imposing emergency rule. All those criteria are there. Section 305 is there. You can read it all.
And the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, has called it an affront on democracy. How could rivalry between the incumbent governor Sim Fubara, the former governor, now Minister Nyesom Wike, and state assembly legislators be the reason for the imposition of a state of emergency, they ask? Meanwhile, for the president's declaration to become effective, the National Assembly would have to approve it by a 2/3 majority. And so far, it's not clear whether the ruling APC party can muster such numbers. Nevertheless, President Tinubu has gone ahead to swear in a new administrator for Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibas.
So that was Senator Seriake Dickson. Seriake Dickson was a former governor of Bayelsa State, and currently he's a senator in the House of Assembly. So from his statement, you can hear him clearly that yes, he is not in support of the suspension by Mr. President to Governor Sim Fubara. And then the reason why he stated that he is not in support of it is that he has stated the criteria and conditions that need to be met before the president will make such declaration, by declaring state of emergency and by removing the current or elected governor of that state. And then the second thing you need to take away from this, I've seen a lot of people saying that what is going on between Nyesom Wike and the Sim Fubara is a tribal thing. He has come out to condemn that and say that this is not a tribal thing. This is something that has to do with Godfatherism and the Godson. That he himself, when he was the governor of Bayelsa State, he did it too. Now before leaving office, they have someone they have in mind. They have someone they facilitate to succeed them or to take up the mandate of the state that they are living. So what he's trying to say is that everybody is not the same. For the fact that you help someone politically to grow does not mean that you dictate what the person will do. It does not mean that everything you say that the person is going to do. He says sometimes there are times you find yourself, or there are times you see those people doing something that you don't like. Okay, things that will blow your mind, things that will make you to not feel happy. But you have done your regime. All you can do is you can advise. You cannot force the person to do what you want because it is not your regime. The people who elected him, yes, you facilitated him, but the people elected him. So you can advise him, but you cannot force him. And he also mentioned that people are different. Just like Wike, we all know Governor Nyesom Wike. He doesn't always agree. Is this type of person is a very hardened person, and probably that is why he is finding it very difficult to let go of what is going on between him and Sim Fubara. So my humble advice to Minister Nyesom Wike is to see Governor Sim Fubara as his son. Yes, because now him bring and come power. So you should see him as your godson, while he sees you as godfather. All you have to do is to advise him and not impose impose your power on him and not to dictate for him what goes on in his state. Then second is that you need to understand that everything will never go as planned. That is life. There are times we are faced with challenges. There are times our plans change. There are times we propose and nature oppose. So for the fact that there are things you have planned, this is for Minister Eson Wike, for the fact that there are things you have planned for Mr. Fubara Sim, and things are not going that way, you just have to look the other way. Allow him to govern his people the way he think is right. You cannot be in Abuja FCT controlling what is happening in Abuja and still control Rivers State. For him, it's not right. So in conclusions, our leaders, our politicians should learn to do what is right. Follow the constitution. Listen to the people. Stop acting based on your power. Stop acting based on your position. Stop acting based on your strength. That you are a leader or that you are the president does not give you the power to do whatever you like. Seek the people's consent, follow constitution, and then so that you will avoid a dino at last. So that we will not want to hear after so many years you will come out to say, Nigerians, please forgive me for what I did so years ago. We are not forgiving again, no. So guys, I would like you to let me know, what do you think about all of this that is happening in Rivers State? Drop your opinion in the comment section, and if you are not subscribed to this channel, I will encourage you to subscribe and like, so that you give me the courage to create more interesting videos like this. Till I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Dear friend, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this wonderful video, I need you to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss my subsequent videos. One more thing, go to the comment section, let me know your feel about this video, and finally share this video with whoever you think might find it interesting. Once again, thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.